Welcome everyone. Welcome to my TED Talk. I am here with you today, wanting to talk about a topic that is rather unconventional. The topic is whether online video games can become a national security risk, not just to any one nation, but rather potentially worldwide. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Mada. I'm a student at the Ponegoro University. I study industrial engineering. First, I want to elaborate. The video game I want to talk about is that of an online video game, more specifically a military simulation online video game. It's called War Thunder. War Thunder is a military simulation online game that simulates almost accurately, right about 80% to its real-life counterparts, of how they would perform. In this game, players go against each other in a PvP fashion. The game is very popular, with hundreds of thousands of people playing it every day, and even millions owning the game. The game is published by Gaijin Entertainment, and to that, I want to elaborate how an online video game can become a national security risk. Well, leaks, classified documents leaks. Throughout the years, from 2021 to 2025, there have been 16 confirmed classified military document leaks, both in the forums or any third-party thread social media platforms like Reddit, where War Thunder have their own page. These leaks of classified military documents can range from vehicles, equipments, ammunitions, even ground vehicles, air vehicles, jets, helicopters, etc. How can this happen? What motivated the perpetrator to leak classified documents? Well, the motivators here are not of conventional means, because usually you would think about, when it comes to leaks of classified documents, you would think about whistleblowing, you would think about ideological reasons, maybe political reasons, but the reasons here are that of winning an online argument, or even impressing their friends online. Now, I talk about how there are 16 confirmed leaks. That's quite a high number. And this is allowed because of the normalization and the desensitization of the player towards these leaks. The leaks have started since 2021. It's the year of 2021 up until the most recently, the year of 2025, March 24th. The players and the community's attitude towards any kind of leaks nowadays are that of just another Tuesday, because of another reason that I will talk about later on. These leaks, as they are, don't really matter much, but these leaks in the hands of any hostile states would be catastrophic if the information contained in these leaks are substantial. I'll give you an example. There was a leak, and the one that I highlight in the red circle, that is an F-15E Strike Eagle. It's an aircraft, a fighter jet, that is very commonly used by militaries around the world, and it is very much one of the backbones of many countries' defense forces. There was a leak, and quite a substantial one at that. Many documents stemming from the manual guide, user guide, to even the operation systems guide. Now, if these documents fall into the wrong hands, hostile states such as China or Russia, they can create countermeasures to disable these fighter jets and completely bypass any defense systems that these countries that use these jets have. And the problem with how normalized and desensitized and how many of the communities think that leaks are just another regular occurrence in the community raise another risk for espionage. Because if the communities think of it just as normal, then intelligence agencies from other nations can pretend that there are players in the community and sort of provoke players that have access to these restricted informations and send them into the forums and share the information even if they are restricted. Now, how do the players get their hands to these classified documents, classified informations? That is because not little number of the players of the game War Thunder are actual members of defense forces around the world. And most of these members of defense forces actually use the vehicles that they like in the game. And they like the vehicles so much, and because they use it in game, they feel an obligation to correct any inaccuracies in the game and send proof if need be. And since they do have the privilege of access to these restricted informations, but they don't have enough restraints to think about why not to do so, so they send it. They share the restricted informations to the forums, to Reddit, or any kind of third-party social media platform. Gaijin Entertainment and the developers of the game themselves have publicly and openly showed that they do not condone these actions, and they do not want these actions to happen in the future. And they have done their actions to delete these posts that attached classified or restricted informations in them. They have taken them down, they have deleted them from their websites, or even requested the deletion and the takedown of these posts in third-party platforms such as Reddit. But their authority is limited to their own websites, and even on Reddit they have to do a request first, and even after all of that they cannot prevent any future leaks. That's why we still see them even this year. Now, the law enforcement authority also are struggling to regulate this field because it is a tricky field, because they do not want to infringe upon the players' freedom of speech and human rights. Now, thankfully, most if not all of the leaks that have happened in or correlated to War Thunder have been in ranging of declassed from unclassified to export restricted, which means it's somewhat not too severe if it was to be leaked. Now, to explain these levels of confidentialities is that public or open is when a document has never been classified, and declassified is when a document was initially classified and become declassified after a certain period of time. Export restricted is when the information is restricted to be shared to anyone other than the intended export receiver or partner. Now, the rest of the levels of confidentiality, that is top secret, secret, confidentiality. They differ in how severe it is for that nation if those substantial informations were to be distributed or shared anywhere, online or offline. Now, thankfully, the confirmed leaks in War Thunder have not been in any of the three severe categories. But we can see this as a cautionary tale where it hasn't reached that point yet, but it might do if no regulations were to be made, if the handling of the situation is not proper. As an example, I would like to present the case of Jack Teixeira. Jack Teixeira is a 21-year-old member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. In 2023, he leaked hundreds of classified Pentagon documents. He leaked them in a Discord server. Discord is a communication platform where people go to talk, chat with their friends while they play games. And he leaked them in one of the channels. He leaked them to their friends in a motivation similar to how players in War Thunder share classified documents. The motivation is rather trivial, that is to impress his friends. Jack Teixeira was apprehended by the Federal Bureau of Investigations and he is now in custody. The information that Jack Teixeira had shared ranges from the information of the war in Ukraine to even defense systems surrounding America. Now this case illustrates how bad the case of classified documents leak can be in the hands of irresponsible online people with even the most trivial motivations. I think I would like to conclude this TED Talk. I hope that it has been useful or at the very least entertaining. I hope that this has served to inform more people of the dangers that the online world and online video games can pose. And not just to our nation's security, but even to other nations' security. I would like to thank everybody that have watched this video, and I would like to know your comments, your opinions. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention.